You do get the standard Magic Square instructions and also this time a Masterpiece scale trading card. He's got a few different accessories. First off, you've got a fifth wheel for the MP44 trailer and also the MP10 trailer. It's nice that they provide you the option for both. He comes with the typical blaster for Prime. No paint, but done in a nicely detailed black plastic. The blaster fits into the hand using the typical Masterpiece peg and port method. It is nice and tight, so once you get it in, it is not going anywhere. Very, very secure. If you're like me, you always wondered why the blaster had the ability to separate. Thanks to a shout out from Optimus Legends. If you have the LEDs from Magic Square Shockwave or Megatron, that is the intended reason for it. So you can plug it in and have a very nice LED feature for the weapon. He comes with a red energy axe. It's nicely done in a red plastic. It's a few bubbles in it, but we've seen those in the past for sure. It's just hard to get clear plastic to be perfect. I do wish it would have been teal, like what came with the Legend scale figure. It really just made that figure pop, in my opinion. But it is nicely done. The way the axe works is quite simple. Just separate the two halves of the bottom, and it will simply slide over the fist and then pop back together, giving you a very nice Energon axe. It is kind of weird to be able to see the hand through the center, but it's not a major issue. I still wish it was, I just wish it was teal, like the Legends version. He also comes with an alternate head. I believe it's meant to represent the Season 1 version of the head. It's nicely painted, nicely done red eyes and gray on the crest. But the eyes are set a little far back. If you can see that. They're a little deep inside the head. But it's still nice that they included it. So we're going to start out in alt mode. Just because with the first release, we started in a robot. Just to show the transformation in reverse. But he does look really good. You've got the chrome coming through on the grill, headlights, and bumper. This time with red jewels instead of what we got with the original, which were yellow. Nice transparent glass with painted windshield wipers. And you do have the teal coming through on the marker lights. It looks really fantastic. But one thing that really stands out is the silver stripe that comes along the sides and around the front. It looks great. And it's something that I missed on the Optimus Prime. You do still have the movable mirrors, which are a bit loose. So I'm going to put some kikis on those later for sure. But you still do have the nice detail with the rivets and the door that you can open. Can't do anything with it, but it is a nice gimmick. Nice chrome coming through on the smokestacks. Chrome wheels, chrome bumper, or sorry, chrome fuel tank. On the rear, you've got the yellow and red taillights. Nothing much to write home about here, but my opinion, he is the cleanest version of Prime when it comes to the rear. Just same on this side. I do want to note that I do have a scratch on my smokestack for some reason. Just a gap in the chrome. I guess it's a good thing that they sent me spares for Optimus Prime. But overall, I really do enjoy the alt mode for this mold. It, in my opinion, it's a very, very clean and very functional and amazing looking Optimus Prime. For comparison, here he is with the official Nemesis Prime, the MP10 mold. And here we have Magic Square Dark Lord in robot mode. And just like the original, I do find him to be fantastic. Just coming in to take a good look at that face sculpt. You've got beautiful red metallic eyes, gray for the crest, silver for the face. Looks fantastic. You do still have the issue with the sides of the mask not lining up exactly right, but that is something that you should be able to fix. As far as articulation, he can look up quite a bit, down quite a bit, a little bit. Full rotation and attitude. It's important to note in the robot mode, they have actually tightened up a lot of the joints. So you can hear the squeak on the head. They're trying to improve over Light of Peace. And that's one thing that they've done. You do have flat black across all the shoulders, bringing you to the butterfly joint, which gives you a nice range of motion. You also have the ability to swing out to give you a lot more articulation possibilities. The shoulder can rotate 360. It can go up to there, but if you utilize this joint, you can actually go up quite a bit more. The nice thing about this joint also, if you're not a fan of how tall the shoulders are, you can actually utilize that joint and bring them down level with the top of the chest. So it gives you two different posing options. Articulation in the arms, you do have 2 points of articulation for spinning, one just above the top of the shoulder and one right at the elbow. Speaking of the elbow, you do get more than 90 degrees. And you actually have multiple joints due to transformation. So you do have the ability to bend here as well, if that's something you want to do. As far as the hands, they do pivot out as on the original, 90 degrees. They also have the ability to rotate down a little bit. Fingers are on a ball at the first knuckle, and they each have 1 point of articulation, giving the ability to make a fist. And with the ball, you can actually splay the fingers out a little bit, which is nice. Thumb also on a ball with 1 point of articulation, but it does pivot all the way out. Nicely done. That brings us to the chest, which we can open to reveal the nicely painted interior portion. It's important to note, you have wiggle if you don't push the top in. There's a pivot joint here between the grill and the matrix chamber. Pivot it back, or else you will see wiggle. When you pivot it, the top portion back, it secures it nicely. But you've got silver paint, teal and red. Looks fantastic. Revealing the matrix chamber. As far as the matrix, it is silver plastic with a red gem. It looks rather nice. And it does fit in rather snugly. So push it in and make sure you get it nice and tight, or else the matrix chamber won't shut. And there you go. Continuing down the waist, you do have silver paint, chrome on the grill. For articulation, you do have a full 360, and you do have the ability to bend them all the way over thanks to that nice ab crunch. And you can also go back if you want. Coming down to the legs, silver paint throughout. Nice teal paint for the details on the front of the waist. And the silver paint extends all the way to the back. And you've got black paint here. For articulation, the hip skirts do come up, which you want to move in order to prevent any damage, because this will fold in, giving you the ability to bring the leg up quite a bit. And this is another joint that they did tighten. If you can hear the ratchets in there, they are quite tight. But it provides a very nice range of motion. You also have the ability to go back that far. And again, on a ratchet out, you can actually go more than 90 degrees. You do have thigh rotation coming down to the knees. I love the detail that they've done. But you do have a double jointed knee, which gives you the full run. Again, ratcheted. And then the feet, you do have down tilt on the toe and the heel. You do actually have some side to side if you choose to use it, and a very nice rocker. So once again, the articulation, as we saw before, is fantastic. And the detail is definitely brought out more in this version with the paint than it was in the original. You've got black plastic on the legs, silver or gunmetal silver for the front of the legs and on the toes, which extends down on the bottom. Chrome for the fuel tanks on the side. Now, one thing I've noticed is that they've improved this joint because they've improved this joint is what I'm referring to. Manipulating the legs no longer wants to pop that back panel out. So that is a definite plus. The plastic, it does feel somewhat improved as far as structural stability. So definitely moving in the right direction. Sounds like Magic Square listened to some of the concerns and definitely made improvements based off that. But overall, articulation and sculpting, again, has been knocked out of the park. And here we have them with the original. There are definitely some improvements with this figure over the original. You still have the same feel to the plastic. It's Magic Square, so people know what to expect with their materials. It's just not as gummy as their Legends figures. Gone are the sprue marks. I've not actually noticed any. So they've taken more care there. And they've tightened up the joints. So overall, I'm actually more impressed with this than I am the original. But they are both, in my opinion anyway, terrific figures. And here he is with a few other Nemesis Prime style figures. And I have to say, it's fantastic the way the Magic Square has provided us with two amazing versions of the same character. Very similar in mold and transformation. So what do I think about the figure? Well, the negatives are still there from the previous version. The plastic, it's Magic Square's typical business model, typical release. It's more lightweight than what people are used to in a Masterpiece figure. It feels reminiscent of a KO. You got hollowness in the arms, but show me a Transformer that stows the hands and the arms for alt mode that doesn't have hollowness in the arms. The articulation, the sculpting, and just the overall posability of this figure definitely make it worth the $100 that you can get it for on MagicSquareToys.com. It is an amazing looking figure. The transformation is fun. It's not perfect, but show me a perfect Prime. That's all I got to say. Is it worth it? In my opinion, yes. You definitely would enjoy this figure if you were to pick it up. But that's entirely up to you. I, for one, love both versions of the figure, and they are my display Optimus Prime. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to get your bell on so you get notified of future content.